Good morning, students. Last time we had done evaporation, and in evaporation we read that how seawater is evaporated to separate salt from it. Today we are going to study about distillation, and in distillation a liquid is vaporized by being boiled. The liquid can be changed into vapor when it is boiled, and the vapors are condensed, that is cooled and collected separately. If the liquid is mixed with any solid and the solid will not vaporize, we know that if a liquid is mixed with the solid can't get vaporized, only the liquid will change into vapors, and those vapors can be cooled down or condensed, and again we can collect liquid separately. In this way the solid can be separated from a liquid. And this process is useful for separating a solid liquid mixture, that is homogeneous mixture it is, which has same composition throughout. For example, the solution of salt in water or sugar in water, or heterogeneous mixture, that is of sand and water. And here is an experiment to explain distillation. You can perform distillation by setting up an apparatus as it is shown here in this figure. We take a conical flask, and in this flask we put the sugar solution or salt solution, and this flask is connected with the help of a bent tube and the lower end of this tube is placed into a tube which is put in ice cold water. Now we heat the flask. The water in the flask gets heated up, it boils, changes into vapors, and those vapors very quickly pass through this tube and get condensed in the tube which is here. And we can see that the water is collected in this tube. We keep on heating it. All the liquid or all the water changes into vapor and is condensed in this tube, and we can get water here, and this is called distilled water, or it is pure water. And continue distillation for some time, all the water will be distilled out and white residue is left behind in the flask, and that is the salt which you had mixed in the water, or if you had prepared this sugar solution you will get sugar. And by improved but similar processes, distilled water is prepared for laboratory and medicinal purposes. So we prepare distilled water to use in the laboratories or to use in the medical purposes. Now in higher classes you will learn that liquids can be separated from another liquid. One liquid can be separated from another in solution, and that is done by fractional distillation. And the other process which we are going to study here is sublimation. And generally when we heat a solid, it first melts and then it changes into vapor, or first it changes into liquid and then into vapors. But there are many solids like ammonium chloride, iodine, naphthalene and camphor. They get vaporized without melting. When we heat these solids, they directly change into vapors without melting, and the vapors of such substances, when you cool them, you get the solid again. Thus, by sublimation, a substance that sublimes may be separated from one that does not. So if we have a mixture of two solids, one which can get sublimed and the other one cannot, we can easily separate the two solids. Like if we take the mixture of ammonium chloride and of sand, or ammonium chloride and salt, we can separate the ammonium chloride from the sand easily like this. So here is an experiment to prove that. What we do, we take some ammonium chloride and salt in a dish, and we keep this mixture in the dish and invert a funnel over it, and the open end of the funnel is plugged with cotton, and heat the dish gently on the wire gauze. There is a net kept here of iron, and you heat it. When you will heat, the ammonium chloride sublimes and it gets collected in the cotton, whereas the common salt is left behind in the dish. So ammonium chloride gets sublimed and gets collected in the cotton, while sand is left behind. Now you can easily understand why naphthalene balls are those phenyl ki goliyan which you are keeping in your warm clothes, or a camphor piece that vanishes when left in the air for some time. Camphor is the kapoor which you are using for aarti and all. If you just keep it out in the air, it sublimes, changes into vapor and vanishes. So this much for today.